I hope all of you are fine. Please open your readers. All of you open your reader. The boys, keep your cameras on. Mustaf, Subhan. Okay, because we have to do reading. So all of you open your readers. Page number 60, Miss Honey. Chapter number 6 is not included in the syllabus. Okay, so we are not going to read it. If you want to read, you can read at home, but it is not in your syllabus. The Platinum Blonde Man. So we are going to start from chapter number 7. Chapter number 5 we read before the Eid holidays. Okay. So Miss Honey, who wants to read? Please raise your hand.
Teacher,
G.
page
Yes.
number.
Page number 60. 60.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now students, start reading. Musaf. Start reading, Musaf.
Miss Honey. Matilda was a little late in starting school. Most children begin primary school at 5 or even just before, but Matilda's parents, who weren't very one,
Concerned.
one concerned one
Concerned.
way concerned one way or the other about their daughter's education, had forgotten to make the proper arrangements in advance. She was 5 and a half when she entered school for the first time. The village school for younger children was a black brick building called
One
Kuncham
second.
Hall
One
Primary.
second. One second. Bleak. Bleak means, please keep your pencils also with you so you can note down the important meanings. Bleak means cold and empty. Cold and empty. Yes, continue. Bleak. We pronounce it as bleak.
It had about 250 pupils aged from 5 or
Pupil.
just under 12
Years old.
years old. The head teacher, the boss, the supreme
Commander. Commander.
commander of this establishment was a form, formidable
Formidable.
middle-aged formidable middle-aged lady whose name was Miss Trunchbull.
Okay, Trunchbull. Trunchbull. Formidable means powerful. Powerful, unpleasant. Okay, powerful, unpleasant. Now, first I'm also read till here and I'll explain. Matilda was a little late in starting school. Most children begin primary school at 5 or even just before, but Matilda's parents, who weren't very concerned one way or the other about their daughter's education, had forgotten to make the proper arrangements in advance. She was 5 and a half when she entered school for the first time. Okay, children, we have read in the first few chapters that Matilda's parents were not at all concerned about their daughter. Okay, they were not interested if she got education or she will not get education. Okay, so that is why when Matilda joined the school she was 5.5 years old. The village school for younger children was a bleak brick building called Cruncham Hall Primary School. That was the name of the school, Cruncham Hall Primary School. It had about 250 pupils. Pupils means students. Okay, so there were only 250 students who were aged from 5 to 12 years old. Okay, the head teacher, who was the boss, means the commander. They have used different nouns, different adjectives for the to tell about the principal. She was the head teacher. Her name was Miss Trunchbull. Okay, and she was a very powerful, unpleasant looking lady. Yes, continue, Mustafa. Beta, we have to finish this chapter. Yes, Musaf.
Naturally, Matilda was put in the bottom class where there were 18 other small boys and girls about the same age as her. Their teacher was called Miss Honey, and she could not have been more than 23 or 24. She had a lovely pale oval
Madonna.
Madonna face with blue eyes, and her hair was light brown. Her body was so slim and fragile, one got the feeling that if she fell over and would smash into 1,000
She
pieces like a porcelain
was.
figure.
Yes,
Miss
continue.
Jennifer, Miss Jennifer Honey was a mild and quiet person who never raised her voice and was seldom seen to smile. But there is no doubt she possessed that rare gift for being adored by
Adored.
adored by every small child under her care. She seemed to understand totally the bewilderment,
Bewilderment. Hmm.
bewilderment and fear that so often overwhelms young children who, for the first time in their lives, are herded into a
Herded.
classroom
Herded.
herded into a classroom and told to obey other orders. Some curious
Orders.
orders. Some curious warmth that was almost tangible shone out of Miss Honey's face when she spoke to a confused and homesick newcomer to the class.
Okay.
Miss
Good, Musaf. I will explain these two paragraphs. Wait a minute. Yes, Kinza, after I'll explain, then you can read. Naturally, Matilda was put in the bottom class. Obviously, nobody, her teachers, the head teacher, they didn't know about Matilda's brilliance. She was a brilliant girl. Okay, we know that at a very small age, she started reading and she read so many storybooks. So she was put in the bottom class when she joined her school. There were approximately 18 small boys and girls about the same age as her, and their teacher name was Miss Honey. She could not have been more than 23 or 24. The teacher was aged 23 or 24 years old. She had a lovely, pale, oval Madonna face. We use the word Madonna as an adjective telling about beautiful face like Madonna. With blue eyes, and please note down the meanings. In the end, I'm going to ask the meanings. With blue eyes, and her hair was light brown. Her body was so slim and fragile. Fragile means delicate. Fragile means delicate. Okay. So one got the feeling like she was so slim, she was so skinny that it seemed that if she will fall down, she will break into 1,000 pieces like a porcelain figure. Porcelain is a like dish, china dish, which is made of a ceramic. Okay, china ceramic. Miss Jennifer Honey, that was the full name of the teacher, was a mild and quiet lady who never raised her voice and was seldom seen to smile. She was very quiet. She spoke politely to the children and she smiled very rare. It was very hard that she smiled. But there's no doubt that she possessed that rare gift for being adored by every small child under her care. But it was like she was such a kind teacher, such a sweet teacher, that all the children in her class loved her. Adored means loved. She was loved by every small child in her class. She seemed to understand totally the bewilderment. Bewilderment means confusion and fear, like you're scared. You know, small children entering into playgroup or nursery class, they're always scared that it's the first time they are starting their school. So they are very much confused and scared. So it depends on the teacher, how the teacher can settle the children down. Okay. So Miss Honey had the tactics and she was so sweet that she could easily understand the confusion of the children and she handled them very nicely. So bewilderment, confusion. Overwhelm means emotional, strong emotion. Overwhelmed young children who for the first time in their lives are herded into a classroom and told to obey orders. Obviously, it is difficult for the children to obey orders, especially the small children. Some curious warmth that was almost tangible shone out of Miss Honey's face when she spoke to a confused and homesick newcomer to the class. And when it was very clear that when some newcomer entered into her class, Miss Honey talked to that child very politely, like some beautiful rays started coming out of her eyes, because she wanted to settle down the young kids, the newcomers. Okay. Yes, Kinza, you can start reading.
Miss Trunchbull, the headmistress, was something else altogether. She was a gigantic holy terror,
Right.
a
Beta,
fierce tyrannical,
one second, one second. Gigantic, gigantic. How do we pronounce it? Gigantic. Okay.
gigantic holy terror, a fierce tyrannical monster who frightened the life out of pupils and teachers alike. There was an aura of menace about her even at a distance, and when she came up close you could almost feel the dangerous heat
Heat.
radiating from her as from a red hot rod of metal. When she marched, Miss Trunchbull never walked. She always marched like a storm trooper with long
Trooper. Strides. With long
strides and
strides.
arms a swinging. When she marched along a corridor,
Corridor.
actually hear her. You could actually hear her snorting as she went.
Smarting.
And if a group of children happened to be in her path, she plowed right on through them
Plowed.
like a tank.
Right. Beta, it's plowed. Okay. Plowed.
With small
Yes.
people bouncing off her to left and right. Thank goodness we don't meet any people like her in the world. Although they do exist, and all of us are likely to come across at least one of them in a lifetime. If you ever do, you should behave as you would if you met an enraged rhinoceros out in the bush. Climb up the
Bush.
nearest tree and stay there until it has gone away. This woman, in all her eccentricities
Eccentricities.
and
Eccentricities. Eccentricities.
eccentricities, and
Eccentricities.
in her appearance,
Continue.
is almost impossible to describe. But I shall make some attempt to do so a little later on. Let us leave her for the moment and go back to Matilda and her first day in Miss Honey's class. After the usual business of going through all the names of the children, Miss Honey handed out a brand new exercise books to each pupil. You have all
Okay, beta.
brought
Good reading. Okay. Okay, Kinza. Very good. Very good reading. Okay. Okay, students, first I'm going to explain till here. Please note down the meanings. Miss Trunchbull, the headmistress, was something else together. She was a gigantic holy terror. Okay, she was gigantic means huge, broad. So she was a terror for the children. Her figure, her appearance was like that, like her personality was like that. The children were scared to see her. A fierce, tyrannical monster. Tyrannical means like to exercise cruel power. Okay, like if somebody is powerful and somebody is brutal to the people. Okay, she was like a horrible, cruel monster. These are the adjectives which the writer has used for Miss Trunchbull. Like she was a terror for the children. She was like a horrible and cruel monster who frightened the life out of the pupils and teachers alike. All the teachers and all the pupils were scared of Miss Trunchbull. There was an aura of menace. Menace means threatening way. Threatening way. What is menace? Threatening way. Like you are threatening some person. So she was like a person to with whom or about whom everybody is scared about her even at a distance, and when she came up close you could almost feel the dangerous heat radiating from her as from a red hot rod of metal. So how the writer has described it, like a red hot metal, like if she is at a distance you can imagine her danger, her threatening ways of approaching the teachers and the students, and when she reaches the students or the teachers it was like some kind of dangerous rays are coming out of her eyes. When she marched like soldiers march, she never walked, she marched. Miss Trunchbull never walked, she always marched like a storm trooper, like a soldier, okay, like a soldiers in in battlefield the soldiers are marching. So they have used the simile like a storm trooper. So how Miss Trunchbull marched? She marched like a storm trooper with long strides and arms are swinging. When she marched along a corridor, you could actually hear her snorting as she went. Snorting, somebody snorts, some voice is coming out from your throat. And if a group of children happened to be in her path, she plowed right on through them like a tank, with small people bouncing off her to left and right. Like if a tank is in the like on the road or in the battlefield, and peoples are being throwing on the left hand side and the right hand side, like she marched just like that. Thank goodness we don't meet many people like her in this world, although they do exist and all of us are likely to come across at least one of them in a lifetime. If you ever do, you should behave as you would if you met an enraged rhinoceros out in the bush, climbed up the nearest tree and stay there until it has gone away. So the writer is saying that it's very rare that we meet people like Miss Trunchbull in our life, okay, and if we meet such people we have to be aware of them. This woman in all her eccentricities and in her appearances, okay students, eccentricities means something irritating, okay, eccentricities, something irritating, something annoying about a person, strange behavior. But I shall make some attempt to do so a little later on. Let us leave her for the moment and go back to Matilda and her first day Miss Honey's class. After the usual business of going through all the names of the children, so Miss Honey, she handed all the exercise books to every student. You have all brought your own pencils, I hope, she said. Yes, Miss Honey, they chanted. If some students are saying the things together, it is chanting. Now, who will read it? Nihal. Nihal, start reading.
Okay, good. Now this is the very first day of the school for each one of you. It is the beginning of at least 11 long years of schooling that all of you are going to have to go through, and 6 of those years will be spent right here at Cruncham
Friendship
Hall.
Hall.
Whereas you know your headmistress is Miss Trunchbull. Let me for your own good tell you something about Miss Trunchbull. She insists upon strict discipline throughout the school, and if you take my advice do your very best you will do your very best to behave yourselves in uh, her presence. Never argue with her, never answer her back. Always do as she says. If you get on the wrong side of Miss Trunchbull,
She can
she can liquidize
liquidize.
you like a carrot in a kitchen blender. It's nothing to laugh about, Lavender. Take the grin off your face. All of you will be wise to remember that Miss Trunchbull deals very severely
Severely.
with anyone
Severely.
who gets out of the line in this school. Have you got the message? Yes, Miss Honey. Chirruped 18 eager little voices.
One second. It's chirp. Chirp. Birds chirp na? So chirp. 18 eager little voices.
I myself, Miss Honey went on, want to help you to learn as much as possible.
While you are in this class.
Well, while you are in this class, that is because I know it will make things easier for you later on. For example, by the end of this week, I shall expect every one of you to know the two times table by heart. And in a year's time, I hope you will know all the multiplication tables up to 12. it will help you it will help you
Enormously.
enormously if you do. Now then, do any of you happen to have learned the two times table already? Matilda put up her hand. She was the only one. Miss Honey looked carefully at the tiny girl with dark hair and a round, serious face sitting in the second row. "Wonderful," she said. "Please stand up and recite as much of it as you can."
Very good,
Matilda
Neha.
stood.
Okay, good reading, better, very good. Okay, now I'll explain till here. Good, now this is the very first day of school for each one of you. It is the beginning of at least 11 long years of schooling that all of you are going to have to go through. And 6 of those years will be spent right here at Truncham Hall, where, as you know, your headmistress is Miss Trunchbull. Okay? So, Miss Honey, that was the first day of the children. So, that is why Miss Honey was telling that you have to spend at least 11 long years in the school, and at least 6 years you have to spend at Truncham Hall, where the headmistress is Miss Trunchbull. Now, she started giving a description of Miss Honey. So she says she insists upon strict discipline throughout the school. And if you take my advice, you will do your very best to behave yourselves in her presence. So Miss Honey started telling about Miss Trunchbull that Miss Trunchbull is very, very keen about discipline. So I just want each one of you that if you want to stay away from danger, then you have to behave yourselves. Never argue with her, never answer her back, always do as she says. If you get on the wrong side of Miss Trunchbull, she can liquidize you like a carrot in a kitchen blender. So which simile she has used? Like a carrot. Like if you just put the carrot in a blender and squeeze it, the juice starts coming out. So she will also, liquidize you just like a carrot. It's nothing to laugh about, Lavender. So Lavender is a girl in class fellow, Matilda's class fellow, and she was laughing. So Miss Honey said to Lavender that you don't need to laugh. Take that grin off your face. Grin means smile. All of you will be wise to remember that Miss Trunchbull deals very severely with anyone who gets out of line in the school. Have you got the message? So she says that it's not a joke. I'm telling you very seriously that if anybody will not follow the rules of Miss Trunchbull, then she is going to be very bad with that person. Okay? So all the children said, there are 18 students now, all the children said yes, they understood. So Miss Honey continued that I want to help you to learn as much as possible. So to make the things easier for you. Like by the end of this week, because they are just 5.5 or 5 years old children, so they're small children obviously. So she says that I want all of you to remember the 2 times table by heart. And in a year's time means the whole year, after the whole year, you will be expert in the 12 tables, learning tables up to 12, so that you can easily do the multiplication. Then she asked the children that if any one of you have learned the 2 times table. So out of the 18 children, only Matilda was the one who raised her hand. Miss Honey asked Matilda to stand up, and she stood up and she started telling the table. Okay. Who wants to read now? Who is left? Kaleem. Yes, Kaleem.
Matilda stood up and began to say the 2 timetables. When she got to twice 12 is 24. She didn't stop. She went right on with twice 13 is 26. Twice 14 is 28. Twice 15 is 30. Twice 16 is 26. Stop, Miss Honey said. She had been listening, slightly spellbound to this smooth
Recital.
recital
Recital.
and reci- recital
Recital.
and
First
now
time.
she had. How far
She
can
said.
you go?
She said, "How far can you
He
go?"
said, how far can you go? How
Hmm.
far? Matilda said, well, I don't really know, Miss Honey, for quite a long way, I think. Miss Honey took a few moments to let his curious
Curious.
statement,
Curious. Curious.
curious,
Cu.
curious,
Huh.
curious statement sink in. You mean, she said, that you could tell me what 2 times 28 is? Yes, Miss Honey. What is it? 56, Miss Honey. What about something much harder like 2 times 487? Could you tell me that? I think so, yes, Matilda said. Are you sure? Why, yes, Miss Honey, I am fairly sure. What is it then 2 times 487? 974. When Matilda said immediately, she spoke quietly and politely and without any sign of showing off. Miss Honey gazed at Matilda with absolute
Amazing.
amazement.
Hmm.
But when next she spoke, she kept her voice level. That is really splendid.
Splendid. Splendid. Hmm.
Splendid. But of course, multiplying by 2 is a lot easier than some of the bigger numbers. What about the other multiplication tables? Do you know any of those? I think so, Miss
Okay.
Honey. I
Okay.
think I
Okay, Kali. Okay. Peter, please make sure that there should be no noise at your back when you are taking the class. Sit in a quiet room, okay? Now, students, Miss Honey asked Matilda that you start reciting the table of 2. And Matilda, she continued. She stood up and she started reading the 2 times table without stopping. Like she said, she went right on with twice. Twice means 2 times 13 is 26, 2 times 14 is 28, 2 times 15 is 30, 2 times 16 is. So Miss Honey was amazed. Like, how come a little girl knows 2 times table and she's continuing it? So Miss Honey just stopped her and she was just looking at her spellbound. We use the word spellbound means like if somebody has cast a spell on a person, okay, like magic. She was totally shocked and amazed to look at Matilda. Now she asked Matilda, how far can you go? How far? Well, I don't really know, Miss Honey, for quite a long way, I think. Miss Honey said that how far you can tell the 2 because the numbers continue. Numbers are indefinite. There is no limit of numbers. Okay, so she says, I don't know how far. Then Miss Honey said that could you tell me 2 times 28 is? Yes, Miss Honey. What is it? 56. Obviously, Miss Honey was amazed, like that is very, very difficult. Then she asked Matilda, okay, 2 times 487. So Matilda also answered that, yes, I'm fairly sure. It's 487, it's 974. And she spoke quietly. She was not proud of herself, she was not showing off. So Miss Honey was extremely amazed and she was like, she could not believe this thing, and her voice was low. That is really splendid. Splendid means marvelous, excellent. But of course, multiplying by 2 is a lot easier than some of the bigger numbers. What about the other multiplication tables? So she asked that, do you know the other multiplication tables? She said, yes, I don't quite know. Matilda said, I don't know what you mean. What I mean is, do you, for instance, know the 3 times table? She said, do you know the 3 times table or the 4 times table? Yes, Miss Honey. So she knows all the tables. So Miss Honey asked, what are 12 sevens? It's 84, Matilda said. Now, who will read? Almost all the students. Yes, we will do the reading only better today. We'll finish the chapter, then we will do the exercise in the next class. Now, who will do reading? Almost all the children who are in the class, they have done the. Yes, Kinza. Kinza, you can read from Miss Honey Post. Yes.
Miss Honey paused and leaned back in her chair behind the plain table that stood in the middle of the floor in front of the class. She was considerably shaken by this action, but took care not to show it. She had never come across a 5-year-old before, or indeed a 10-year-old who could multiply with such facility.
Facility.
I hope the rest of you are listening to this, she said to the class. Matilda is a very lucky girl. She has
She
wonderful
has one.
parents who have already taught her to multiply lots of numbers. Was it your mother, Matilda, who taught you? No, Miss Honey, it wasn't. You must have a great father then. He must be a brilliant teacher. No, Miss Honey, Matilda said quietly. My father did not teach me. You mean you taught yourself? I don't
Yes.
quite know, Matilda said truthfully. It's just that I don't find it very difficult to multiply one number by another. Miss Honey took a deep breath and let it
Breath.
out slowly. She looked
Breath.
again at the small girl with bright eyes standing beside her desk, too sensible and solemn.
Solemn. Solemn means
You say
serious. Okay.
you
Solemn.
couldn't. You say you.
Don't find it difficult.
You say you don't find it difficult to multiply one number by another. Miss Honey said, "Could you try to explain that a little bit?" "Oh dear," Matilda said, "I'm not really sure." Miss Honey waited. The class was silent, all listening. For instance, Miss Honey said, "If I ask you to multiply 14 by 19, no, that's too difficult. It's 266. Matilda said softly. Miss
Okay,
Honey
Kinza.
stared.
Okay, good beta. Thank you. Now, students, so Miss Honey, she could not imagine a little girl who knows all the tables so well that she can easily multiply the numbers. So she just paused and leaned back in her chair behind the plain table. She was constantly shaken by this exchange, but took care not to show it. She was not showing Matilda that she was like taken aback. Taken aback means like if some person is very extremely shocked or amazed or surprised. Okay, so because she had never seen a 5-year-old child or even a 10-year-old who could multiply with such, who can multiply numbers easily. So she said to the class, I hope Matilda is a very lucky girl and she has wonderful parents. Then she started asking Matilda that it must be your mother whom taught you. Matilda said, no. Then she said that your father must be a great man. He must have taught you. So Matilda again said, no, it's not my father. My father didn't teach me. So Miss Honey said that, did you teach it yourself? She said, no, it's just like I find numbers very easy. I don't find it difficult to multiply the numbers. So Miss Honey, she just took a deep breath and let it out slowly. She looked again at the small girl with bright eyes standing beside her desk, so sensible and solemn. Solemn means serious. She was looking very sensible and very serious. Okay, so she said, okay, maybe you can easily multiply the numbers with 2 or with 3 or with 4. So, but can you multiply 14 by 19? Oh, no, no, I think it's too difficult. So Matilda at once said, it's 266. Miss Honey stared at her. Then she picked up a pencil and quickly worked out the sum on a piece of paper. What did you say it was? She said, looking up. It's 266, Matilda said. So Miss Honey put down her pencil and removed her spectacles. Spectacles are the glasses. And began to polish the lenses with a piece of tissue. She wanted to be sure that the number which appeared on her paper and the number which Matilda was saying were exactly the same numbers. The class remained quiet because they were just listening to the teacher and to Matilda, watching her and waiting for what was coming next. Matilda was still standing up beside her desk. Okay, now who will read? Yes, Musaf? Yes, Musaf? Unmute your mic, beta. Okay, I'm reading and I'm explaining now. Time is 3 minutes are left. Now tell me, Matilda, Miss Honey said, still polishing. She was continuing polishing her glasses, okay? Try to tell me exactly what goes on inside your head when you get a multiplication like that to do. You obviously have to work it out in some way, but you seem able to arrive at the answer almost instantly. Instantly means at once. So Miss Honey asked Matilda, Matilda, can you please tell me when I ask you a number or when you are multiplying numbers, you answer me at once. So what goes in your brain? Okay, I simply put the 14 down in my head and multiply it by 19. I'm afraid I don't know how else to explain it. I've always said to myself that if a little pocket calculator can do it, why shouldn't I? So Matilda was a genius child. She was an extraordinary child. She was not like the other children. Her IQ level was very, very high. That is why she could not explain it to the teacher that she was so good at mathematics, not even at mathematics, at all the other subjects she was very good at. So she could not explain this thing to the teacher. She said that I just put the number in my mind and the answer comes out. I don't know. Why not indeed? The human brain is an amazing thing. I think it's a lot better than a lump of metal, Matilda said. That's all a calculator is. How right you are, Miss Honey said. Pocket calculators are not allowed in the school anyway, okay? So Miss Matilda said that if calculators can do the sums easily, why can't I? Human brain is more complex than a pocket calculator. So Miss Honey said that pocket calculators are not allowed in the school. Miss Honey was feeling quite quivery. Quivery means like shivering, trembling. She was not accepting this thing that a small girl can easily do such hard sums. Okay, she was not believing that thing. There was no doubt in her mind that she had met a truly extraordinary mathematical brain, and words like child genius and prodigy went flitting through her head. She knew that these sorts of wonders do pop up in the world from time to time, but only once or twice in 100 years. After all, Mozart was only 5 when he started composing the piano, and look what happened to him. Okay, so Miss Honey was trembling. She could not accept this thing that already there are few genius people in this world who have extraordinary minds. Okay, just for instance, Mozart. Okay, she has given an example of Mozart, who can do when he started composing music on piano. Okay, and look what happened to him. Now students, it's about to finish. It's not fair, Lavender said. How can she do it and we can't? Don't worry, Lavender. You will soon catch up, Miss Honey said, lying through her teeth. At this point, Miss Honey could not resist the temptation of exploring still further the